yeah, Danikb, top 25 is not a problem. The problem is that in the end you want to come into the top 10, because this is where you get prize money for. So you want to reach top 10 in the end after grand final. But if you lose now a lot of points, then you are so far behind that you cannot catch that up in the grand final. That's the issue with the system. So if we have now a very unlucky server where we have lots of good players, and then we lose a lot of points, our 12 lap times would have gotten us way more points on other servers, most likely. And then we fall so far behind, like all of us kind of, except Xander and maybe BlackCat, all of us fall pretty far behind in comparison to some players on the other servers that drove worse than us. That drove worse times, but they get more points because they have an easier semi. That can easily happen. And then we lose so many points, we come into the top 25, we are in the consolidation final, that's okay. And then we can also make it into the grand final, but in the grand final we have a huge points disadvantage because they are all far in front of us. And that is the issue. That's kind of the issue. But yeah, now we have to get into it. So as you see, hosts are on. We have a bit of a warm-up, or they did something in the start that I don't know. So you get points for fastest lap. The 12 fastest laps driven in this race get points. One player can basically get all of them, but the start round is slow, of course. So, but when there's one dominating guy on the server, he can get 11 of these 12 fastest laps, and you get points regarding your position after 12 laps. And that happens on every of these 7 environments. So that's what we're playing for. We start the stadium. And yeah, I only had 1 day of training, saying it again for YouTube, because of so many working shifts, no chance to train more. So, and the tracks are extremely difficult. Like the difficulty of these tracks, you will see that it's crazy. Stadium is actually relatively chill, but it's of course tech again. And you see already on my best environment stadium, there are lots of cars around me. So it's actually difficult. I will take the music off, make my engine sound a bit louder. And yeah, let's pray for a very good 12 lapper. Xander is the dominator on our server. Should be. And then BlackCat and on many other environments, not on stadium of course. Wormi and Sepe usually around my level or beatable for me, but both of them have practiced, and such players are not on the other servers. Like they had not the best seeding, not the best qualification, lost there, but now they are practiced for this semi-final, so it will be very difficult for me to beat them. I have also lots of consistent players on my server, so the chance of coming through by crashes from others is relatively low. The chance is very high that they will do well. Alright, there was something so that we restart with a... Okay, that's nothing special, but just an unlucky landing in the first warm-up. And yeah, people on my server, you see some of them. Xander, BlackCat, Zepset. Garfovsky, Lucario. Wormi and Sepe, Danikb. And Tona. And I hate to see that Garfovsky is ahead of me in Stadium. Can you believe that? And all of these players from my server, they have practiced. You see on the website, you see it playoff practice. And you will see that lots of these players are there. And there are not many players that the 12 lappers on the playoff practice server. There are not many players in total. But those players here from this server, you will see them there. So they already did 12 lappers, they already trained it, and you see not much from the other servers. That's why I'm a little bit thinking that we have it very difficult here. And that I have a quite unlucky server repetition. So what will happen now? Do we go live or another warm-up? Rigged stealing all stadium points. It's a pain in the ass doing the playlist. So it's something with Nursens. The problem is that Nursens, he should not be on this server, he should be on another server. That's the issue. And probably cannot join there. But yeah, I expected some technical issues. I mean, you cannot really test these things. And BlackCat is of course also player himself, he's also the admin of this club. He of course has now the issue that he is not really getting into training. Because he has to deal with these issues. And Stadium is really my best environment with Coast. So here I have to get good points. That's really a difficult task. I mean, I am on their level. It's just not free. Okay, I guess it starts now. Let's go. Ach yeah, we also have Ervin on the server. He is also not too bad. Like, our server is so stacked. And they all joined as well. Like, just look at the daddies there. Everyone who's blue is on the server. But I'm not sure. Maybe that's fucked up a little bit. Well, let's go. My god. A bug, then a slowdown. This combination that cost me like half a second. Why is there always one more coming? Also, impossible that with this performance I would be on such a bad position on other servers. Might be an overlap. Mann. I had him safe and then I get bugged. Oh no. We have one more lap after this. Scheiße. Better approach and then lost time with that. That's it. I lost all these places. I should have been third. Third place is only 2.5 seconds in front of me. Behind me is then the huge gap. But third place is only 2.5 seconds in front. And I'm getting 6th. Tona had the game close. But how does he not lose more than that? Also never ever I'm 6th on other servers with this time. 12:36. Never ever. Like everyone that I was fighting with was not just ahead. And I had it kinda safe. I had a 4th and 5th. But then in the last 3 laps, whenever I was then quite ahead of someone, I got some little bumps and then it was RIP. And the other top times, Danikb, Danikb, Sender, Danikb, Sender, Danikb, Danikb, Sender, Sender, Danikb, Danikb, Danikb. So literally no chance to score any points there. It's behind, like I take away this overlay here for you. You see it, that was wrong, here. You see it in the top 12 times will get points. The best time will get 12 points, the second best time will get 11 points, the third best time 10 points and so on. But they're getting 6th in Stadium, this is just dumb. Stadium should have been much better, like people like Zepset I have to beat, definitely. I knew that wormi would be close. Yeah, it was a clean race for a long time. It was mainly just small things where I lost it, and then the cars on, which affects me quite a bit when I see then, oh, someone crashed, he's behind, there's another guy ahead. Naja, so now guys, now comes the most difficult track ever. So I played this today and I had to say, also, this is the most annoying map I've ever played. Other players will have a lot of fun with this, I guess, when you have good control over the car. But this is like the most difficult map that I played in Trackmania. More difficult than Deep Dip. Naja, no, this is just... I can't get a clean run. I can drive as safe as I want. I'm driving super slow anyway, like my pace is 3 seconds slower per lap than the record, because it's just so difficult. And I can drive as safe as I want. I will not get a clean run on this. This is just impossible to play. Also really next level difficulty, I can tell you. So some players will super weigh I can only try to be as consistent as possible, but as I said, I tried to be consistent, and it didn't work. This here, every single corner in this map, you can get too much two-wheel, you can drift away, every single corner. There's not a single corner that is easy, it can happen at every part. And you get, in the second half of the map, a lot of boosters right before corners to make sure that you are too fast. The main idea of this cup, how BlackCat said, is the maps have to be fast and difficult. That's what he wanted. And fast, of course, is difficult itself already, and on some other tracks you will see it's just very good also for steering wheel, joystick and so on. Here, not necessarily. Like Desert is just a very good keyboard environment, but yeah, some parts here get now too difficult and too fast for keyboard as well. These chicanes, I don't know how they are with joystick, for example. But yeah, chicanes is also something that I realized quite a lot on this track. Also you have a lot of switching from one to the other direction, but it's more extreme than in rally later. Oh, I'm first. Ooh. Stay there, stay there. First in the warm-up. Yeah, also the amount of mistakes will decide here quite a lot. But pace-wise I'm far behind many others. So, yeah. This map is just... Like, the warm-up looked now pretty clean, actually. But yeah. Don't get confused by my first place, many players didn't even drive. Start is dangerous, the way onto the booster, it can easily go wrong. I made it, at least. And there it starts. Beautiful. Like, how do I drift away there? And then I even get punished with a slowdown from the curb, from the Ramstein. But you will see a lot of mistakes. I mean, you see it already now. This map is just next level. Like this booster, for example, in the tunnel. Also this booster for before the turn, before the exit. I don't know why. Why do you need that? Why can you not just let the boosters away and give us one slow corner to relax? No, it has to be a booster before that makes it too fast for it. Also here, booster and then important corner, because you don't want to crash before that uphill. You crawl with 100 speed over, also to the top. That's not nice. That will cost you then a lot of time. But yeah, let's focus on the race. I need a good position here. Even though this is my worst track in envi. Maybe there's something possible, maybe others are also struggling, who knows. I was losing a lot of time right there. Also don't want to crash in this left turn, but it's also very difficult. So I'm again 6, but wow, it is so shaky. People in front of me are far in front. They can do mistake and will still stay there. My task is to beat everyone that is behind me now. But there was of course this one guy crashing in front of me. He was of course far ahead, so he was fast in the start. So he could come back from it. I just have to go so slow there. Otherwise I would make mistakes in that fast section. So all this wobbling and wiggling and every single wobble can be too much and you drift away. But yeah, here I would be fine with a 6th place. Just because this map here is just my worst. Yeah, I'm not sure I can make interface on. I miss 5 seconds to the next player. It's very unlikely that I catch that up. We will not find out in laps mode how much lead I have. Oh wait, we do find out. 4 seconds and 6 seconds is my lead to the next 2 players. Okay. Actually, I'm surprised that I'm not further behind 1st place. Only 11 seconds after 4 laps. I expected it to be more, to be honest. So the absolutely top places, they could be faster on other servers. Because I do not think that they have it clean. Because when you see how much time I'm losing on a single lap to the Danikb 1, then you know that there's much more possible. That was also such a... like, I couldn't save that mistake, yeah? The landing, then... whole jump is something questionable. That's hard. But that's just... like, the only thing, yeah, the only thing that I can go for is the 6th place and protecting my lead of the others behind. At least I have no cars around me. It's like as if I play with cars off here. And having no cars, I have to use this, so that I can find my own driving, my own pace. That's important. I have to use this opportunity that I'm alone here, because cars on affects me. That's also the reason why I dropped behind in Stadium. It's all the time close with them. If I didn't know about these battles, then I would have done better, I guess. But, so we make the things on here, and we see when they've crossed there. I can't look, like it was so late that I had to concentrate on the next corner. So here you can maybe see 5 seconds. So he didn't catch up, he also saves it, I guess. There's not a single corner I can attack. Like, everything I have to smooth steer. It's so dangerous, this map. Yeah, over halfway through. Wormi caught up a lot this lap. And I didn't drive bad, like I didn't make a mistake or anything. Just caught up a lot. He's 3.5 seconds behind. Oh, that was almost too low. Oh, my hand starts to hurt. With all the smooth steering, it's crazy how much it starts to hurt then. The next map won't be any easier. Next map is also next level difficult. Bay. And not just the Bay map, it is of course a Zeus map. Also built by Zeus, who builds crazy maps often. Bay is one of these environments and tracks where I hope for a very good position. "15 seconds to the next guy in front." If I bring that home like this, it would be very efficient to get 6th place with that time. That could be like on other servers I could be not better. Could have not something better with this 12 lap time that I'm gonna have in the end. That I end with, I wanted to say, I think. So wormi lost a lot again. Which is of course important. Overlap. Why is he driving good? How am I overlapping when he's driving good turn? He's still close trying to annoy me. We made it. Oh, okay. So BlackCat wins with only 1 second ahead of Sander. Then they are 13 seconds ahead of the next triple fight. Garfovsky in third, right ahead of Tona, right ahead of Zepset. Yeah, Marius is good in desert than in stadium. Yeah, obviously. You see it here. Yeah, in the end, only the position matters, not the times. You see the top 12 times in the top. BlackCat, 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 then Sander, BlackCat, 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 Sander, Sander, Sander. So BlackCat has 8 of the top 9 times from the server. He drove so consistent. 105, 46, 52, 58, 70, 74, 75, 82. 75 was Sander. 82, 84, 86. Those are the times from BlackCat. And he only wins by a second ahead of Sander. Okay. Okay, I expected Ervin to do better here on Desert, I have to say. So, from one difficult track to the next difficult track. I wish I could see your inputs. Ah, I got a raid from Nualok. Thank you. Yeah, inputs not possible, sadly. Like, this game doesn't have open planet, and there was another way, but that doesn't work with my 2 PC setup. Okay, Bay. So this map is also hard, very hard. You will see Sander with an incredible performance. I wouldn't be surprised if Sander has in the end 10 of the 12 fastest laps. He is a bit unlucky that Zepset is on the server. Zepset might be maybe close to Sander, battling with him there in that regard. But in the end you will see Sander. I say he's winning our server with 20 seconds lead. Is that too much? Maybe 15. Yeah, Zepset could be closer. I don't know how much Danikb practiced this, but no, he will not stay close, I guess. Zepset can stay close theoretically, but to be honest, I stick with 20 seconds win for Sander if he performs. Because Sander is a beast in Bay. It's absolutely crazy. He has the Mania record on this map. by a huge margin at a second, and he can drive pretty consistent on this level. So also this map is fully over boosted, especially this corner here is so difficult with it. Like you need a perfect feeling for your gamepad if you want to not slide out in this turn. It is so tough. I have to smooth steer so hard in this corner. And there are no action keys in this game. That came only with a new Trackmania. And with that one transition, I'm still a bit unsure how I wanna take it. Also I'm looking for maybe a third place here. Also if I drive a very good race, overall, then I feel like a third place is doable. I expect Xander, of course, taking that first place, and I expect that I will not be able to beat Zepset because he's a consistent player and Bay is also his favorite. But maybe I can beat the others. But that depends on how I drive myself, and I have of course also not really any clue how good the others then are. Yeah. So third place would be cool. Can easily be worse because we have lots of good all-round players, so there are many players that can do well on many environments. Yeah, we will see. Yeah, that's a beautiful start. I mean, that transition is kinda unsmooth, I don't know. Nobody slid out ahead? Okay. Yeah, start a bit slower here into this race. Don't want to full whisk the start. Safest to do it like this. The whole part here is absolute smooth steer. It is so difficult with the gamepad, especially when my rumble pad had, like the older rumble pads from me that have this bug where it doesn't constantly steer, where it was switching with how much it steers even though I hold the stick consistent. Impossible to drive them with that issue. This guy took the boost. Still learning some lines, because I never was sure how I wanna do this part. Ugh. Yeah, also feels shit to do it like that. This guy ahead of me is driving a bit faster, but it's Garfovsky. I want to beat Garfovsky. I have to beat Garfovsky. Like, Bay is definitely one of these environments where I should be much better than him. But yeah, okay. He of course also takes advantage from being a bit practiced and from that the maps are fast. Because he's a very good player on the Trackmania original environments, where you often have to smooth steer a lot as well, like in Rally. It's also decent on an island with a smooth steer. His worst environments are then of course Stadium, Coast, and then Bay. And he got better on those. But the map style of course plays a big role. But we have to agree that he tries a lot faster than what I'm doing. And that makes it, of course, not possible to keep up there. I was not able to look. I would like to know my pace. What do I drive as fast as lap at the moment? But I couldn't see it. Because it's in the corner, I can't really look there. It was quite logic that we will have some bigger gaps. I am 4th, by the way. But I think I hear someone not be too far away from me, behind. Yes. This is BlackCat. He has always a Nadio skin that loads for me. Makes this a 5th place right now. It's just very important that you don't do these big mistakes. Because of the average speed that you have on this fast map in some parts. Like here are slow parts of the track, but there are some super fast parts that I had right before. And if you crash there, it costs you quite a lot. And there are surely people that slid away in one of the, like in these smooth steer parts, that slid away there once. And I need then so many good laps at that part to catch up what they lost. So I'm of course Safemeister, I'm trying to not make a single of these slide outs. But you see that I'm losing quite a lot of time then to some players. But I can tell you, if I would slide away there, it would cost me much more. I would be much further behind at this point. Hopefully don't find out by how much, because I really don't want to slide out there. Also important to make this jump every time. I hear a car sound again, which means I'm actually not safe on 5th. Like I didn't hear anyone the whole time. If he caught up, then he is also much faster than me. And I will be not able to keep him behind. But I basically I hope that they will do more crashes. If they are that consistent and well. But then again, if I get now 6th again on this track, then it's shit. But this would be then one of these performances where I'm pretty sure that on other servers I would have been easily better than 6th. Who is this? The Danikb. Danikb, please don't destroy my points. Okay, that was confusing. What's that line? Yeah, that's they also see the missing training. Oh god, this transition. My card just didn't go further up. Yeah, and BlackCat is also gone by now. It's crazy, they also tried pretty consistent, but that's what I said. That's like the issue. Like I have not even good players and all-round players that are good on all the environments. I also have very consistent players that are not failing and giving me the positions that easily. Like with that clean run, I should be much further ahead on others, so I'm pretty sure we will see it then at the end, of course. But Danikb, I'm sure you let me through, right? Not 6th again. Thank you. I mean, I'm driving now kinda clean, so you guys don't even see what can happen on this track. You can have multiple stoppings, and in several parts you can have full stoppings and lose a lot of time. Not just slide outs, also lots of stoppings. That's like the downside of my driving style here. You guys will not see how difficult it is. You only have to trust me on what I say. But you see with how much more speed the others went through this corner, so... And you know that when you do this, it's much more difficult. I'm only 3 seconds per BlackCat, by the way. It's of course too much. Finished half a second ahead of Danikb. I saved so hard in the end. And also wormi wasn't far. Oh, actually Garfovsky is ahead of me. 14:03. Maybe Garfovsky crashed in the end, maybe BlackCat was only 3 seconds. I lost a lot in the end, of course. Okay, so you see only 8 seconds from Sander to Zepset, because Zepset is so good. But 33 to third place. 33 seconds to third place. Top times, Sander, then 8th place goes to Zepset, then Sander, Zepset. So Zepset actually gets 4 of these fastest laps, but of course only those 4 that don't give you a lot of points. Sander has the top 7 and also 9th. 105, 47, 54, 68, 68, 94, 96, then 116, 1618 and 1629, and it's on such a difficult track. But you see, his record is 104.40. So he is, of course, then also saving quite a lot when he's so far away from that. I drove a 109.47. What? I only drove 109.47? Guys, I should have been third then. The thing is, I didn't know my pace now, but my PB is 107.05, and I drove a lot of 108s in the practice. I drove a lot of 108s. Next is rally. I have to rejoin the server, the game. So yeah, I drove a lot of low 108s easily. And when I'm now with my best lap 1.3 seconds behind that, then this means, naja, then I did not really... I was much slower than I thought. Like, where did I lose that much? For sure in the very fast part. Minus 80 and 335, apply. Whoop. Tweak settings for rally. Is this map? The last one was Canyon. Canyon is in a different Trackmania. We don't play Canyon here. Okay, we have a bit of break. Yeah, but knowing that I was now so slow, so slow. But I was very consistent because I went that slow. I didn't have a single big crash. If I was doing 108s, maybe I would have crashed. I don't know. But I'm really surprised about that time. Like 109.47, really? I didn't expect that. Like, where did I lose that much? There's one part, yeah, but other than that, and that part I also saved when I was when I was practicing this map. Yeah, it hurts a little bit because driving this tiny bit faster would have gained me a 3rd place, exactly what I hoped for. 3rd place would have been good points for me. Who's actually missing on the server? I mean, yeah, we miss, of course, definitely 3 players. It's good that Sepe is not playing, but he will play Coast for sure and steal me points. We got now Nursens into our server, which is not optimal, but so far he finished behind me, so it's... Like usually Nursens was on a different server. But who's missing? I mean, Sepe not playing, yeah. Lucario doing not good. But that might change on Rally. And Rally is now also super difficult. Also Rally is... we have BlackCat, the leader. And also on Rally, I'm missing 3 seconds each lap. Oh, we also have a long break here now, where I can get some practice into the environment. So also on Rally, I'm missing 3 seconds. It's really crazy. And BlackCat, like, watching him is crazy. I mean, I can show you afterwards the replays that I downloaded from the best 12 lappers that these players drove. Then you will see how that looks like. So you see that all of us, all these players have to go through a lot of hurt, through a lot of pain, I wanted to say. Everyone has the issue that the wrist, the hands is hurting, are hurting, or the thumbs. You have this kind of break, but on the other hand you also want to warm up, I don't know. So, warm up over. What is my goal on rally? I have no idea. We have to wait and see after the first few laps what is possible. But I do not think that much more than 6th place is possible here. BlackCat Sander will be definitely ahead. Zepset, Tona, Garfovsky, Lucario in theory. Like, it will be difficult. Because I'm missing pace here as well. I'm not sure if consistency helps in rally, and I'm not even sure if I'm consistent. So let's see. So if I don't let the guy behind me pass me back, then I would have nobody ahead now. Free road to try to get better and faster. It's now important to find some pace now that he is still behind me. Because if he will pass me, I will get distracted by the car. I will lose the feeling. Oh. That's an interesting respawn there. Also this chicane there is also very difficult, to be honest. By the way, guys, this map is super crazy in terms of how many chicanes it has. Focus on that. Focus on the amount of chicanes. And chicanes are the reason why I struggle with these weak settings here. Because the car doesn't feel as quick in changes of direction. I have him behind me all the time, and I'm not driving that good. I have also slight mistakes, not finding the pace. As you see, there's not something better possible, position-wise, than what I have currently. The best I can get is basically just staying ahead of him, but he's pushing. I hear that sound the whole time, and there he is. There are turns like this where I'm losing a lot of time. Now he shows some serious pace. I wonder, is this the guy that respawned? That was obviously much faster than me beforehand. Because now I wonder how could I keep him behind me so long if he drives like that. I'm sadly not able to fight that position. We have 2 more laps after I cross the multi-lap, which I do now. So car Julian overlapped. Ja. Wait, this is my position? Guys, what did you think? How many cars are ahead of me? Not sure if you saw it. I thought there are 7 cars ahead of me, but apparently I'm getting 5th. Wow. So BlackCat wins ahead of Santa. Santa has barely any wins. He got beaten by BlackCat on Desert and Rally and got beaten by Danikb on Stadium. So many environment people. But yeah, BlackCat has fastest lap time, then Santa. BlackCat, BlackCat, BlackCat. Santa, BlackCat, Santa, BlackCat, 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 BlackCat. Everything from 106.67 to 107.18. And I drove 109.17 as a match PB. Zepset gets 3rd, Garfovsky 4th. I beat Lucario, Ervin, Wormi, and Tona's out. We lost Tona with internet issues. No, rip to Tona. He has a hard day. He's now playing with phone. Okay, everything is saved from the server. I have to real quick leave again. We go now to Island. Where I am actually also using DX Tweak. And not just this. Also, I barely use DX Tweak in Island. Because Island has often a full speed corner. And when it has a full speed corner, a full steer corner, a full steer corner, then you can't use DX Tweak anymore. But this island doesn't have that. And I never ever used such an extreme setting for island than for this upcoming map. This map is super fast and it's just like I have to use it. It will be hard to control otherwise. But yeah, I'm missing pace also on island, like 3 seconds to records, or 3.5. But I can drive this baby consistent. So I hope for the best. DXT, yeah, I can assume Shoei. I can understand as well that hurts. But well, they did build these maps. I could try without, but I had only this day to learn, so I wanna have it easier. Also if that works out nicely, I have a chance for a very good position here. I'm full steering this left turn. This is how my settings are. You can also find it in other turns. The thing is that I will also lose some time in some parts. The most part of time loss I will have on the upcoming section, which is the right turn here, and then the transition onto this. And you see how I don't get around this part. But then I can full steer this, I can full steer this and full speed. This is kinda what I was going for. And it is also easier, these smooth steer corners are also much easier to drive. But you still see that others drive them much faster, so... Ah yeah, and the start here is... And I struggle with this part here. I have a small transition where you have to straighten out the car, and the car feels so slow in doing that. That's like always the issue. But I seem to be quick. If I don't fuck it up, I can definitely get a good place. The thing is, we have Santa, who should be unbeatable. And we have Lucario, who should be unbeatable, because Lucario goes basically for one environment, which is this environment here. So Lucario should be ahead of me, no chance there. It's also a bit unlucky with the server then. But okay, on server 3 for example is Mef, but Mef is by far not as consistent as Lucario is. So Lucario will be 100% ahead of me. Xander, with a very high chance, will be ahead of me. And then the question is, what can I do against the others? I feel like I can beat wormi, Garfovsky maybe as well. But only because I use Steak Streak. Otherwise, probably not. Hard to say. Okay, Garfovsky could be also beatable without... it depends on his times and his performance, I don't know. But BlackCat is the big question mark. Usually I shouldn't be able to beat BlackCat, I guess. Tona is also... like, he has so many issues right now that it's hard to say where he will end up. And Zepset is of course also still a question mark. We have so many good players, I don't know, but warm-up look good. The thing is that from all the good players now Lucario comes extra. See? Oh shit. You see that I barely get around some parts? Oh, that was annoying, like I did not really touch it, it's just barely. Oh, it cost me so much speed. Yeah. Also I'm only 9th. Yes, I had a mistake, but these guys are pretty far in front. There was a stopping, so I'm 8th. Seventh. Sixth. How can they drive so fast through this corner, not slide away? Like even with Steak Streak I'm sliding away there very easily. Close. Okay, I have a strong server also here, man, no man, no man. Ay. That was very close to crashing, but I lost a lot of time, of course, by that drift. That's like the issue with this transition there. When I use the settings, I cannot really correct a drift that easily. It will just cost me time. So it has pros and cons. I still think that it's overall a bit better for me for consistency. It's not forbidden. And I hope it will also stay allowed, because to be honest, at such maps you have like a hard time against joystick players or steering wheel players. Lucario, I think, is playing with the steering wheel. And as you see, using Deek Streak gives you also disadvantages. Like, my main argument for it shouldn't be forbidden is that in that moment when you use Deek Streak, you lose certain steering ranges. And that means that you will become, like, the best possible time to reach will be worse. Basically, you use it, and then you already know that the best possible time that you could reach is becoming worse. Because you cannot steer that much. Like, there are some parts here where I have to release a lot to get around, where I usually wouldn't need to release, where I usually could just full steer. Deek Streak is only helping for consistency. But you see, pace-wise, I'm still dropping against other players. Yeah, I'm only 5th place. And that 5th place isn't even safe. I expected a bit better on Island, but of course I have good players here. Especially consistent players. That's like the main issue on my server. That all these players are consistent players. There's barely any crashy one. Okay, you see how much faster this guy is. Especially through that part, which is definitely the worst part for my settings. Trying to find out who it is, but I am not able to look. It's Garfovsky. And Tona is also there. Hello, Tona. Okay, I really thought that with my consistency, that would be really good. I really thought I would get a top position. Now I'm only 7th. Like, I tell you, on other servers I would be top 3. But we will find out. Top 3 is maybe too extreme. Crash, that's good. Maybe top 3 is a bit too extreme, because they are also quite good players. But definitely not 7th. The question is, are there even 7 players on the other servers? Never ever I would be only 7th there. Like, Garfovsky can come back. I'm not safe of him. He was overtaking me with so much more speed. Well, stylish. I think I should get extra points for that. Oh! How did I get airtime? Oh. Now it's going down. I think that I will have a big lead to the next guy behind. Would be surprised if not. Yeah, that was quite lucky. I mean, what I don't know is why did I drift in the first place. Then of course, the settings are the reason why I couldn't save the drift. I couldn't steer further into. I knew that this edge is existing there from the practice, from the little bit of practice. Holy shit, man. So I knew this edge was there. And I tried to full steer but couldn't save. But first of all, I just was surprised that I got a slide at all. Yeah, and that are these sudden slides in United that are... I lost the feeling for that. I might have had it years ago. But this comes so out of nowhere, so surprising, and that steals all the confidence that you can have. It steals all the confidence. When you have such problems. Such a sudden slide that can cost you then multiple seconds. I saw now multiple cars right in front there. So it seems like they all made mistakes, but they are all ahead. Which is of course a bit unfortunate. Maybe some of them are overlaps. This guy seems to be slow. This is surely an overlap. There's the next guy. Or is it an overlap? Am I even slower than overlapped guys? Oh no, man. That was close. Okay. We are on lap 10. And the big question is it even possible for me to lose a position? Or can I just go full YOLO, trying to get to the player ahead? I don't know about my lead to the next guy behind, but it might be a big lead, so that I can even do a respawn and stay in front. In that case I could try to make a bit Mario's 5 risk. Because the next guy in front is really not far, but I lost time here. I mean, that I got airtime there, and then after my luck crash. This did cost me so much time as well. It's island. In island you lose a lot of time by small things. That came also out of nowhere. I never had the issue. I always got around and kept grip. But yeah, 7th place for this is crazy. And it will not get better. I guess that's clear. Now there are 2 players that I was fighting with, Garfovsky and Tona. Without my bad lap I would be fighting with them. And that was doable, kind of. Maybe the 5th place. But well. Time to just bring it home. They lose so much time to 1st place as well. Oh. I mean, that would be something if I just gained a position, but it might be just an overlap again. No. I just gained a position, guys. It was Tona, who has really a hard day. Like, he's not even in the checkpoint. There's another guy slow. I hope it's overlap. It is overlap. Yeah, Garfovsky was possible to beat, but the next guys are then so far in front. Sander beats Lucario, actually. Then BlackCat, then Zepset, all very alone. And wormi then ahead of Tona. But I gained a position in the end, I can be happy. Again in 6th place, but I really expected more from this environment. But I have just such a good server. I really wonder then, when you compare the times with the other servers, of course I kinda, after they were both then gone away, I also had bad ending. Could have been a bit further in front. But yeah, this... I really look forward to see the times from other servers. I cannot imagine that you would have such a bad position with such a time. But maybe I'm wrong. Currently, it's only guessing. Ach, Webi. Na, ich habe nicht so viel Zeit dafür. Außerdem wird es mir sehr schwer fallen, überhaupt viele dieser Playoff-Matches zu spielen, weil ich dann in Urlaub fahre. Und ich glaube auch nicht, dass ich gegen Highboys Gold wirklich helfen kann, um ehrlich zu sein. Weil da braucht man Leute, die Pace haben. So, now I can full steer again. Yay. Ja, Danikb, I understand that feeling. Ja, Huebi, ich habe das ja schon früher gesagt, dass das ja genauso laufen wird. Wir werden so oder so auf jeden Fall in diesem Match landen zwischen dem Gewinner von Div 3 gegen den Loser von Div 2. Ganz egal, wie wir jetzt letzte Woche gespielt hätten, ist die Chance einfach arg groß, dass wir da so oder so gelandet wären. Ließ sich nicht verhindern. So. What does wormi right there? But I admit it's a bit boring when top 5 is way ahead and I basically race waiting Marius to catch, which doesn't happen. So, here on Snow, I want you to count the boosters. These maps, as I said, the plan was that they are fast and difficult. And what do you do if you want to make Snow difficult? Well, you completely overboosted. It feels like Trackmania Turbo campaign, where you also have all the maps super overboosted. This map here, it has definitely over 10 boosters, maybe 15 boosters. And always like ahead of corners to make them then annoying. So you don't have any single easy corner. You get always a booster to make your car too fast for just easy no slide. This is just super crazy. Ah, here, for 7 seconds or something, no booster. Yay. But then booster. So this is the multi-lap 1. Oh, actually in the beginning, not so much. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and multi-lab is 16, unless I started there with 1. Top 6 was also sub 14, wow. Okay. Alright. Snow is for me also difficult. Top 6 would be already good. Good that I watched. So you can download replays from the playoff practice on the website. Good that I did that and saw the start trick, because otherwise I would have of course gone outside how the mapper intended it, but you can just go backwards to the booster. Very interesting. So it only takes a few corners and you already see which positions I will definitely not make. So this chicane is super tough. Okay. Yeah, the level in snow is generally also very high in United, and the map is not really suiting me well. Like, I would be much better on slow maps, on several environments. Desert, I rather have it slow, even though that favors keyboard quite a lot. But yeah, I rather prefer that. Snow, I would prefer much slower. When you get too fast, and you have to avoid that these small slides from the snow card that you can barely see sometimes. I'm bad on those maps. Also, this transition here is quite weird, and that gives you then a slide in this right turn easily. You're way too fast, I don't know if I should brake or something. Hard to control, as I said, at that part, because way too fast. And then you have also a lot of elevation changes. You know that I struggle in TM 2020 always with these blocks. I didn't know that I would struggle on the old Trackmania games as well, but I do. Like, in Desert we already had a lot of elevation changes, and here as well. It's quite crazy how much you have of this. Oh, that was almost too early, my jump. You can clearly say that all the guys that are ahead have more pace than me. Oh, there are only 4 people ahead though. Like, I thought that I have a worse position, like 6th or 7th, but it's only 4 people in front of me. Which means that I have a valid chance to get at least the 5th place. But I can tell you the points that I make from the semi-final for the whole competition, they are of course by far not enough. The points are by far not enough. I will drop a lot of positions. I am 14th after the qualification, and I will drop a lot of positions because on the other servers there will be some players, of course, scoring much better. I have an average position here of 5th to 6th on this server, and that means already here 4 to 5 players score better than me. I would say 4 players. Like Xander is scoring better, BlackCat is scoring better, Zepset is scoring better, that's for sure. And at the moment also Garfovsky. Like he lost a bit on Stadium, but not much. Most other environments he was ahead of me, so those 4 are scoring better, and also by quite a lot because they are quite consistent on every track ahead, or almost every track. I think Zepset was ahead of me on every track actually. Xander as well, BlackCat and Garfovsky were behind me on Stadium. I mean, on Coaster I have a chance to beat some, at least. Which is the next and last race that we have. But then there are also these players on the other servers. Like, there will also be 3 to 4 players that score better than me. And that means that I will lose a bit. But, I mean, actually, if I get here 5th, it is not too bad. So I take the advantage from Tona not really being there anymore. Like, this is now helpful. Because Tona was there in the beginning also one of these guys that is then always ahead and steals a position away. And not having him, no. And wormi, of course, he beat me in Stadium, so it was the annoying start into the semi-final. But over the last maps, I have beaten him pretty consistently. So that's at least something. It is good that Sepe is not playing. It helps, because he could be also a tough opponent. But Sepe is playing exactly those environments where I'm good. Stadium Coast. Like especially, I expect Sepe to play Coast. He has trained this map. That's what I saw in the play of practice sheet. And he will for sure be there and deny me a position. Which is then annoying, of course, yeah. When you have such players then on the server that are playing in one environment, beat you there, but well, it has also something good that he didn't play the other 6 at least. And also Lucario, for example, as he would be on such an endurance cup, he should be so good, but he didn't practice. So he would be one player where I expected that he beats me all the time, but he didn't. And I'm pretty happy about that he doesn't take the points away. He only did that on Island, obviously. One reason why I'm only 6th there. The good thing on this, with this amount of boosters is, when you make a mistake, it will not take long until you have a booster. That's the main advantage of this style. So it was a really unavoidable crash, to be honest. And it did cost me some time, but it's fine. So how is it looking? BlackCat is 5 seconds ahead of me. And seems to be maybe gettable if he makes a mistake. What I didn't see is who's behind me and by how much. At the moment you can say if I just save this in, then I will keep my 5th place for sure. Or what I forgot to look was the fastest lap times on island, because I had to leave the server that quick. How many lap times did Sander have? How many Lucario? Now the question is of course also for the victory of the whole competition. We have of course the main fight between Xander and Drim. Those are the main contenders for the overall victory in this cup. And now they are of course on 2 different servers. And we saw now Xander getting denied quite often, like he didn't have that many first places. He actually has managed to beat Lucario on Island though, which is quite crazy. Yeah, but he lost to BlackCat 2 maps and he lost to Danikb on Stadium. So now the question is, Drim, how difficult were the races for him? Did he win every race? Because then he might drive slower than Xander on some tracks, but he gets the win and Xander gets only second, and then Trim makes more points even though he drove worse than Xander. That is something that can happen with this system, with this point system. It would be quite unfortunate, but we can definitely say Xander had always opponents that stealed him some fastest lap times, that stealed him some first places as well. But overall, you can also say as a Xander is just on another level here. It is crazy how he's on every single environment up there with the environment specialists. Yeah, actually in the second to last lap, while I'm talking. Actually this map was pretty chill, but my hand starts to hurt nevertheless. I mean, I'm very alone here. BlackCat is now 13 seconds in front. It was 5 seconds. So he must have had a big mistake. And that was the reason why he was there. So close to me. I mean, you would also expect him to be further in front. I thought I add a wall touch because that race was too clean that I had. Yeah, I have doubled of the distance from 4th place. BlackCat came close to Garfovsky but stays behind him. Losing here quite a lot of points. Well, the ride didn't crash, but actually last lap my touch was in the castle, I think. So Lucario is behind me 7 seconds, so actually not that much, because I never saw someone there. So best time, Sander. Ah, there's one BlackCat. Sander, BlackCat, Sander. Yeah, so we have 9 times Sander, having also the top 7 times. 32, 40, 50, 57, 62, 63 and 66. He also drove 74 and 76, and he wins by 12 seconds ahead of Zepset. Yeah, Sander. No, not bad. Alright. Where do you see points? Website. Okay, let's check on the website. Semifinal B. Current score. 5th place for me, close to Garfovsky. But yeah, now comes Coast. This is of course one of my better environments. But I saw something about Coast. Like I practiced it a bit. Then I compared what kind of fastest lap others have, and of course they had sick fastest laps. Which was then like, no. Not that I also got a bad position on Coast, like on Stadium. No. Not that that also happens here. That would be quite annoying, to be honest. What I dislike with Carson is that I can't really hear my own gears properly, because for some reason the engine sound from other cars is kinda louder than my own engine sound. It's always annoying. It makes life harder, because gears are important with this environment. But you see already, pace-wise, I'm struggling a bit. And that should be one of my best environments. Also, I, for example, have to beat BlackCat on Coast. But he improved a lot in that environment. Have to give him that. But for my own, like, you know, for my own feeling, I have to beat him. I have to beat Garfovsky. It is hurting a lot if I really fall behind those players on my earlier best environment. But of course, practice is missing a little bit. I, however, felt pretty well at some point during the practice, but then it's at some point it also got worse again, so it's always a bit difficult. So I make this now louder even. But also the opponents get louder. I also put the micro a bit further away. Let's go. They say relaxing, but I don't think that this will be relaxing for me. could have been so good. I didn't touch. Oh my god, I was ahead of both. Notice. It never drifted away there. Now it happened twice. Like, I don't know what's wrong with this environment, but why are there so many other sounds? They're so loud compared to my own car. Whenever I'm in another car, I'm having bad corners. It affects me that much. BlackCat made a mistake in the end, so that I could have had him. Second place was possible. But in these fights, I just lost so much time. Already the drift in the very first lap. That was so weird that I got that. But that's because I just I can't hear my engine, I can't hear my gears, and I use this sound basically to understand how close am I to the limit. As I said, should have like the mistakes when I got both cars, and I think that one of those was Zepset, who ended up second. I was ahead, and then I dropped quite a lot. And here in the best lap times, I am not there. I drove 55.46. 12 time 55.12 was possible to get. Sander, Zepset 1, Sander, Zepset, Sanders, BlackCat, Sander, Zepset. And that's the cup. I definitely should have gone. Like, I need some points somewhere, and here a second place was possible. But after the first lap, it already looked quite tough to get there. Yeah. Mistakes happen for others, though. Ervin is behind me, interestingly. I'm getting too much affected on coast by these other cars. It's quite annoying. There was this group ahead after the start, and then I was fighting with one guy and overtaking this one guy. That took me like 3 laps. And then we approached some other one that crashed ahead of us, and at that moment we fall back again. Or I fall back. I was then in these other cars, was a bit distracted, and I steered in too early in a corner. I saw that I will touch this Ramstein, and then I would auto slide, so I had to open my steering. And then this guy that I basically over 3 or 4 laps finally overtook, he got again ahead of me, just with this. And then followed another small slide directly afterwards, where then the other guy that had that big crash instant caught up, and then I had again 2 cars around me, and I could have had like free vision, and then coast is so much easier with free vision, and when you have that such a lead that you also hear your own engine better, then it's then I can drive also much better pace in the end. But so I was always a bit unsure with how close am I to sliding away. Can I full steer? Can I go full speed, or do I have to release still? I can't really judge with cars around me, and then I just can't really get through them and away from them. Yeah, at least 4th, but yeah, it's coast. Theoretically I should have won that because Sander's beatable on coast, but I need a bit more pace for that. But yeah, that's it with this first cup. Don't know, did that update? I think it did update. So Sander wins our semi-final with 3,102 points. BlackCat is second place with 2,455. Then we got so closer. Then we got Zepset with 2,378, and behind those 3 is a huge gap to Garfovsky and myself. Garfovsky scored overall 6 points more than myself, so we were pretty much equal. 6 points with this point system is basically nothing. And then behind us is Lucario, actually, with 300 points behind me exactly. And then comes Tona and wormi is behind Tona. Wormi is actually far behind me then. then Ervin, Danikb, Nersons, and Sepe. This is our server. Gonna cross first checkpoint here. The 6th place in Stadium is of course something that annoys me quite a lot. And there were lots of just all-rounders also ahead, like Zepset. Yeah, to be honest, I have to beat Zepset in Stadium. He is, however, also not bad in Stadium. He plays Stadium Tech especially a lot. He had some matches with his team. So, yeah. But it hurts to see them basically then getting ahead, because I have to score here. And then only 6th place, I mean, they were all right in front. Also here I had the issue with ghosts on. Naja. It's like always in fights. But that was such a beautiful corner, holy shit. I did a 102.03 in the race. Like, my race wasn't that bad. Boah, I survived the touch. Look at that. That's sick. Touching there and not getting stuck. Why am I still driving? Let's see if the other servers now kinda work or not. Yeah, so there were issues. Or does it work now? Something? Yeah. So he still has to get the resites from the other servers into the website. It kinda only worked out for our own server now. He said it also at some point. What does this actually show me here? Yeah, Danikb, but it doesn't matter, I think. I can show you. Here's the website. Also, you see here the semi-final leaderboard of our server, which is what I was reading. And then you see here, combined over all 3 servers, but it doesn't work because the other servers didn't send their information here into this website. So basically it's only us at the moment. And then you see here the... Yeah, you see here these different tracks with our time. How many laps, how many checkpoints, how many your round points, and your best lap points, which on Stadium is 52 for Danikb, for example, and 26 for Center, and then the overall score. And but this score, what is the score? Like, I still try to understand what this score here is. You have here 240 round points, I guess. Plus 26, but why now 1317? Is this already? I think this is summed up with the quali points. I think you take the quali points and you sum up this. And that might be also the reason. Okay, so now I understand it. So this table here, yeah, is not our stadium result. It is sorted by these points, but these points come together with a qualification. And after the qualification, I have been the 5th best player of this group and was ahead of Garfovsky, Lucario, and so on. And now you see, for example, Danikb getting these many points, and he will overtake wormi, hence he was then, I know this is already after, but yeah, we find an example in this here. BlackCat dropped to 4th place, and then comes the next environment where BlackCat did very good, 1st place and 65 points, and then he got up to 2nd. Like, this is already showing the points together with qualification. And then you can see that at the end I end up here, and Garfovsky ends up 6 points ahead of me. Oh, and it kinda matters actually. So this is actually not the points from this match. These points that you see here are the points from qualification plus this match. I mean, I was already surprised that Garfovsky was kind of equal with me, because he was on most environments ahead of me, and some of them by multiple positions. But he started the whole thing with 90 points less, and he ended up with a bit ahead. Now, he didn't start with 90 points less. I of course gained a bit on stadium already, so we were closer together, yeah. But then after the next track, he already caught up quite a lot, because he got that 3rd place on desert, while I got that 6th place, and that's just already quite a lot of points. Then on the next, he was also 1 place ahead of me, which is 16 points different, so he comes closer. On the next one, he was again 1 place ahead of me, so he comes again closer. On the next one, he was then overtaking me and also Tona. He was now 2 places ahead of me. Now we are super close together, and Tona in between. And then he got again 2 places better than me, so he got a bigger lead, and in the end on coast I gained on him again. So yeah, that we have some, because between every position is a difference of 16 points, and I think nobody of us got the fastest lap time. That was also a reason why I was surprised that we have a 6-point difference to each other. That made no sense. So it had to be yeah, this explains now why the quali points are already in there. So in the total standings of these players from this group, I am 5th place. The top 9 to qualify into the grand final directly. It's obvious that I will not be there. The goal is to be top 10 in the end. If I'm 5th on my server, you can also expect that at least 4 players on each of the other 2 servers will be shortly ahead of me. So you can kinda think that I will still be like on 13th, 14th, 15th place overall. And catching up so that I get into the top 10 is like, it needs a very, very sick grand final from myself. Question is now how fast the 10th place ahead. They are very good players, obviously. And for that we have to wait for the results from these other servers. As you see, when I click on server A or on server C, nothing happens. Yeah. Maybe we have to redo everything. Yeah, the quali points matter a lot, because we are like, they wouldn't matter that much, Danikb. The reason why they are mattering that much in this comparison with Garfovsky, for example, is the case that we were now not 16 sick players playing against each other. we were instead just like around 7-8 players, where you have always center ahead, always Zepset ahead. So the positions for Garfovsky and myself were always between 3rd and 6th, kind of. Like, or 4th to 7th. It was always just a very small gap. And then we cannot really make differences between each other. Because there's only sometimes a position behind, sometimes a position ahead, but it's always only this little bit. If you had 16 players here in the semi-final, all really sick, all really good, all really fast. I mean, Aminoid, for example, was not on the server today, I remember. And he was replacing Arubiano, who was doing a withdrawal. So Arubiano on the server, he would have been another player that would be on the top places. And if you have 16 top players in the semi-final, all trained, then you would have big differences in the positions, because then you can easily end up on a bad environment in only 11th place, even with a good driving, and in other environments much better. And then you can actually make a difference in positions, and each position is 16 points. You can, if you win 5 positions over another player, then you already gain 80 points. And in the qualification, 80 points, the difference in the qualification is like you didn't really get you had not many point differences between each position, but you had so many more players because all players came into account. And here you only had 15 opponents, but some of them were not even there, some of them were completely no trained, and then everything was just within a few positions on every single track. Like you see it with my positions, like it was 6th, 5th, something like that all the time. So it was, I had like 5th places and 6th places on kind of all the maps. Like in the beginning when Tona was still playing, I was 6th. When he was gone, I was 5th. But it was super consistent. Yeah. And that's like the issue. Then there is no difference, of course. Yeah. In the end, these positions are still okay, I guess. I'm always getting 4th, 5th. Will not fall that far behind. Wormi didn't steal me many points, but against the other good players in front, like what hurts is that Zepset and BlackCat, like Zepset, for example, it hurts that he beats me in every single track. So in every single track, I had Sander and Zepset ahead of me. There was no like change, yeah, that I could be ahead at some point. And that hurts a bit, because on my main environments like Stadium Coast, I should be ahead of Zepset at least. That I at least beat him somewhere, and that I get somewhere good points. But the best possible place was now 3rd. And BlackCat, however, also beat me on every track, despite Stadium. So basically, I could only get 4th maximum. And then you had Garfovsky, who was beating me as well in most of these tracks. Only on Coast and Stadium not. So I at least still beat him there. On Bay, he was then sadly also ahead of me. But and on Island as well. But yeah, this is like the issue. Like I was kinda, when he was then also ahead of me, then I was 5th. And in the beginning when Tona was still playing, I could easily be 6th. This is the thing. And you have sometimes these one environment players, Lucario comes in Island. That's why I'm only 6th there. That was the point where Tona was already like having issues, so usually it would have been 5th, but because of Lucario I'm 6th. On Stadium I have Garfovsky and BlackCat behind me, but I end up with Wormi and Danikb ahead. And then I have again the 6th place. There was not much. Of course, it should have been 3rd. Like, these points are kinda missing now. But on the other hand, I was quite consistent at least. I didn't have really bad results. I'm surprised about Rally that I could get 5th there. So maybe there was lucky with my server. Overall, I will still be outside of the top 10. I have to go into the consolidation match, which is happening on Monday. in this consolidation match, it doesn't matter how many points you get. It is only the match itself. Also the points are of course mattering, but only for the match itself. They will not take over into the grand final, obviously, because we have one match more. So in the consolidation match, will be 16 players, and I have to make sure that I get into the top 7 in this match, which is doable. Which is definitely doable. Then I qualify for the grand final. But the problem is, in the grand final, I end up being in kind of shit position. Like, I will be outside of top 10, and I need a really, really good grand final to catch that up. And pace-wise, I think that's not really doable for me. Especially, I have to practice now TM World Tour maps. Makes it difficult, of course. Yeah, this is now a bit unfortunate, because I also wanted to see the results and to check, like, especially in the big question, who is winning this competition. It would be nice to see how much Drim, like how many points Drim got. And then also on the other server, Neko. Drim, of course, had Hawk as opponent, so Hawk can definitely take away some points from Drim. Neko had Roa as opponent, and then also Phil and Hüb and some good players were there. So server 3 was also quite difficult. Server 1 had Trim and Hawk, but after Trim and Hawk, server 1 was much more doable. I just don't know how much they trained. That's like the big question for me. I had a feeling on my server were a lot of prepared players, and also very consistent players. Like from these top players that you expect to be overall in front. The fact that Zepset beats me on every single track, like that's the issue. On other, like if I have a more crashy guy than a Zepset, no? Then it could happen that I get these 5th places when the guy is not crashing, but I can also get maybe up to a 3rd place when they are crashing. But this did not happen on my server. I was just consistently on that 5th place, and that is the annoying thing on my server here. I think that on other servers you had the chance to get further up, but I don't know. We have to wait for the results. I can't wait now. I don't know how long that will take. So, naja,